Alright, random video. Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. I just came up with the idea like 3 seconds ago. I am gonna, in this video, maybe short, I don't know, I'm going to be collecting a handful of Lysmachia arvensis seeds. Hold on. What is it? Okay, I need to show you what it looks like. I think it's in Lysmachia. I don't know if the flowers close in the evening, but there's a whole bunch here. So what I'm gonna do with these seeds, that are here, that thing is a seed of Lysmachia arvensis. Now, hold on a second. No, it was a capsule of a whole bunch of other seeds inside it. Huh. Look at all those. There's so many. Okay, well, here are the flowers. I think they close at night. The red 5-petaled flowers. They have the purple, well, I don't know. The calyx. Oh, hold on. The calyx. Well, I don't know. Yeah, the green thing at the base of the flower has 4 parts to it. Oh, hold on. Is that 5? Yeah, I think it's 5. I don't know. But, like kind of hot, salmon-colored flowers. Yellow anthers, and I don't know what kind of stigma they have, but this is a nice annual. I don't know if it's native. But, I'm gonna just collect a whole bunch of these. Trying not to pop them in my hand. I don't know, they probably will, which is fine. Most of them will probably go in my hand, but I'm also probably, because I'm always crushing them, because my hands are so large and powerful, and I'm also, probably flinging others outside, just by doing my stuff. What is that? Oh, that's a shell. So here, I dropped it. Some of them are gonna fall out of my hand. They're so small. And that's okay. Because when anything tries to harvest seed, for whatever reason, it could be a rodent, it could be a human, they always leave something behind, and the plant can go on with its merry distribution. But it is late. It's well past its peak blooming season, which is around May and June. And, sometimes this place, I think they went off all at the same time. It's just red, they're like red flowers everywhere. Because they're everywhere. Look, it's just these little dried up plants. And they're all over that, this dome of moss, I would call it. Earlier this morning, I harvested a whole bunch of this. This is the real Leucanthemum vulgare, the one that blooms later and peaking in like early July, I think. No, mid-July. It's August now, the month with no holidays. It has rounder leaves, slight serration, and the one hold on. I have one right in the area I have all my bonsai trees on the bench. That one has a lot more, definitely less entire leaves. So, they have a lot more lobation and serration on the leaves, and they die back earlier. So I'm trying to spread more that die back later, but oh god, I just uprooted that. Well, it's fine. It was dying anyway, and they're annuals as well. So I don't know. Now I'm gonna keep this in my hand. You know, maybe I should just start grabbing whole entire plants. Because these, yeah, I'm not even watering these. I'm watering the ones in like this gully here. I can keep the seeds there. But in this dry area, I don't know. You know, I could just, yeah, do this. Yes. Collect all the seeds in the dry areas. And I'll show you where I'm trying to spread these and why. It's if it's not native, it's definitely harmless. Because there's not many of these. It's really nice. So if you like really, you know, minuscule little kind of ground just covered in red little flowers, yeah, this is a nice one to do. Lysmachia arvensis. And I think it's in Caprifoliaceae, because it has opposite leaves. Well, yeah, no. I just actually gave you the honeysuckle family. No, I meant Caryophyllaceae. The phlox family, I think. No, that's Polymoniaceae. I'm all over the place. I don't know what family, what like main genus is in Caryophyllaceae. What is there? What is there? A carnation family. Yes. The carnations are in Caryophyllaceae. But also, there was that plant in Mesa Verde that had white flowers, and it was in that family. I forgot what it was. I need to look it back on my plant close-ups, because that's where I catalog all of my observations in just a plain old photo app. I haven't posted anything in iNaturalist, and I should. I need to get to know the app. Yeah. Just ate dinner. And you see. Oh yes, it's closing up shop for the day. Yeah. They close in a spiral. What other flowers do that? Roses? There's definitely something other than roses that does it way better. I might have... Okay, so the iris seeds, pods, are just starting to ripen. Some of the seeds... I'm really getting ahead of the seasons right now. I'm so excited for a seed collect... I mean, it is already seed collecting season, but... Peak seed collecting season is... You know, later this month, I think. As well as September. But they're not ripe yet. I don't know what kind of iris this is. It has, you know, it doesn't have one of those very huge broad-petaled irises. Not the broad irises. This is a slender-petaled, yellow-flowered iris. You know, just 3 slender parts and then a less significant, you know, alternated a set of, you know, little smaller ones that cup inward like it, but it's not like the huge. And I'm talking about sepals and petals. There's a 3 petals and 3 sepals, and they kind of overlap and they form. But it's not iris season. So now I'm gonna spread the seeds. Here, I am in our dry lot. I haven't shown you this before, so welcome to the dry lot. I have tried You know, one time I did attempt to make a video, but I don't know, I gave up for some reason. I don't know why, but, you know, that's what it used to look like, or that's what it would look like all over the place here. There would be nothing here, aside from the hardy manzanita, this which grows in the Sierras. The agaves, which are kind of invasive, but they're from Mexico. I've been clipping away the rhizomes and pups that sprout everywhere, because, you know, this big agave already has some sprouting right alongside of it. So I'll keep those. I'll just cut all the other ones down. Because eventually we're going to have to park our van, you know, farther away from it. Because this is going to, like, I don't know. It's going to get twice as tall. And, I don't know. I do water around it, like, almost every single day. I try not to water too closely to it, because I don't want it to rot. But, yeah. Anyway, I want to spread these seeds. And I'm just gonna kind of do this. Yeah, so I've been keeping this care of this area for, you know, since 2024 summer. Started watering it occasionally, but, you know, nothing. I didn't really have any plans for it. This year, I do. I planted wildflower seeds. You can see the mallow, the Malva trimestris flowers, and the borage flowers. These forget-me-nots are blooming. And as well as I think this is zinnia. No, this is not zinnia. This is zinnia. And there's a zinnia here. These have like big, almost like pom-pom truffula tree like flowers, except they're not like, they don't look fuzzy. These, I mean, this used to be up that tall. It was very voluptuous, you know. You know, you could tell it had a lot of weight up there. And it was swaying, and there's also a bunch of weeds here, but I was keeping those so that there would be shade here, you know, sacrificing, you know, so that there would be more moisture. But, you know, I could just save the basal rosettes from this, I don't know what kind of there's some kind of, they're related to lactusa, prickly lettuce. Now there is already quite a few of these possibly caryophyllaceous plants here, but I want more of them because they're really nice. Oh yeah, so did you definitely close up shop during the evening, just like we do? Keep some in the moist area just to see how they thrive better, because, you know, we have very brutal summers. We have not had any rain this summer, but for the past few years we have. Very rarely. I think, well, let's go back to 2017. The only day of that summer that I remember having rain was somewhere in September. And there was anvil crawler lightning shooting across the sky. Because, I don't know, it was a high cirrus clouds. And it was anvil crawler lightning. There was a storm somewhere around here. And then the next year, 3 years later, 2020, big year for storms, August 16th, I was up. Mom woke me up at 2 a.m. saying there's lightning. I was like, what the hell? What? I thought we were thunderstorms during winter. And there definitely was blue lightning over the ridge. 2021. There was a lot of the similar kind of really colorful sunrises and sunsets that I saw the year before with all the thunderstorms. I don't know why thunderstorms cause such beautiful, like, sun and horizon contact events. Like, I wish I could just use one word for that. But there was also colorful sunsets and kind of mid-altitude storms that where the precipitation never reached the ground. Very high clouds. I don't even think they were cumulus. There was alto-cumulus. And even in 2023, I saw the same thing. 2024, also saw the same thing. But in 2023, there was actually thunderstorms developing in June here, near here. And I think that year, there was a thunderstorm warning, actually. And in 2024, there was a thunderstorm advisory. I don't know. But, there was a very beautiful sunset. There was a fucking rainbow over there. And it did rain. It did drizzle quite, like, enough that the moss greened up. And I was making my delicious barbecue pizza and gorging myself with it. And I didn't hear any thunder, but, somewhere there probably was lightning. And I had to water this place twice a day. Sometimes because in June, because I accidentally, I didn't time my watering routine at that time, so I was sometimes watering in the morning, and then it would dry up, and I'm like, oh, I need to water again in the evening, so I just decided to water it in the afternoon, just once a day, and I kept the soil moist. But here, so now I only water it like once a day. I try to. Sometimes I skip a day, and this time seems fine. But in June and July, I was soaking it. This soil started out super hydrophobic. Well, not extremely. Even still, the water just runs off. It's very compact. And, over there, you would notice it drains quite fast because it's cracking. It's dry. But it doesn't, get really absorbed into there. So here, all of the cracks have sealed because the soil is expanded because there's more moist in it. And it's just tough soil. Things kind of grow pygmied here, or small. It takes a while for these rosettes to shoot up a big spike. Yeah, so this Lactusa, I don't know. It's not Seriola. There is a Seriola growing over there, that little stalk right there. But this is a different kind. Asteraceae. You can see those little fluffy seeds. The Carlaceans. This is a noxious weed here. It also bleeds latex, hence its scientific name, Lactusa, which means it's lactating. I don't know what kind of grass this is. It's probably not native, but it's harmless. Some of the grass blades had the color of the stem right here, the purple kind. I don't know if it's native or not, this grass, but it's grows kind of flat. But it looks like a perennial. But now I think it's because the low angle of the light. It's August, which is, I don't know. I don't know how to do the math in my head. I don't know if it's math, but to see what. The months. If you try to look at the angle of the sunlight and compare the opposite month, it's not going to completely line up because the seasons start not at the beginning of the month, not in the middle of the month. It's just at the 21st, which is kind of, I don't know. But there's an erodium. It's an invasive geranioid. And why I say the geranioid, because it's not a true geranium, but it's in the geranium family. you know, unlike a lot of geraniums, this definitely does not look like a geranium. I mean, it is hairy like a geranium. It gets the same anthocyanin pigments as geraniums, and it gets the same flowers in early spring as geraniums. They're purple, and then they have the same spike, seed, same kind of spikelet. I don't know what they call it, but there's this one. There's only two, as far as I know, and then there's this bigger one. I don't know if it's gonna bloom before it dies in late fall, but there's this. Whatever this is, it's in the pea family. I just call them burrs. There's more. There's a member of the carrot family I call burr, and it's like a hedge parsley. Yeah. And then there's this. They have the spirally shaped burr. There's probably some of those laying around. There's an old one from last year here. These. I call them burrs. But they probably have a different common name that's more commonly used. This. Is this Encaryophyllaceae? No, it's not. I don't know. It's a semi-succulent, non-native from the Mediterranean, I think. I don't know, maybe the Middle East. I'm not sure, but it's an annual. It helps with shade. No. If it's in Encaryophyllaceae, it has betalain pigments, not anthocyanin pigments. I forgot why, if I ever knew. But I'm gonna just guess. This is in Encaryophyllaceae, and it gets betalain pigments, which is pink. I mean, they look very similar to anthocyanin pigments, which, you know, they can vary. They can vary in color. Is that another aerodium right there? That looks like another aerodium. So that's number 3. I think it's ERIODIM. UM. There's lots of Senecchio that's non-native here. But it's gonna be a while before I actually. I'm gonna keep these. I'm gonna just let this kind of be wild before we actually install irrigation here. Cause we just fixed that little thing there. So that when we do, so that we can, it already works. So that when we do install irrigation here, we don't have to do everything at once. So we got that done. There's also this thing that was here before we got here, as you can probably tell. So that's where the hose used to be, and where it will be in the future. I don't know when. No, I didn't plant these forget-me-nots. Also, Boraginaceae, which I think these are different. These are different. They look very similar. Both members. Oh, what is that? I think it's meiosis. It's definitely not mitosis. It sounds something like around that. Myositis. I don't know, something around that. Is the genus of forget-me-nots. And they are non-native, and they can be invasive. I have seen some, covering the sides of the roads where there should be different native plants there. There's also a lot of Euphorbia peplis. Petty spurge. I don't know why they call it that. Peplis. It sounds loosely similar, but barely. The malvas are stunted, or maybe they're just because I planted them late. There's a bulb I threw in here. I planted, these bulbs, the alliums, the wild garlic that cover everything in March. They just like white and green everywhere. It's everywhere. It's invasive, but I kind of like it. I mean, it does kind of snuff out native plants, but it honestly gives off very fairy tale vibes when you're in a forest. Just alliums everywhere on the forest floor, in an oak forest. So good. And yet so bad. But I don't know if this is, I mean, the bulbs, they form right at the surface of the soil, and sometimes they get dislodged. And actually, if you see a cluster of them, a lot of them just, they start falling out of the soil. And the roots, I mean, they're monocots, so everything dies. The leaves die, and the roots die completely. No residual. I mean, the roots stay in the soil. These just fall off. So it just looks like it never even sprouted anything. But this will sprout if you just, stick it in the soil, and it will sprout next year. So that's what I'm doing before I focus on native plants and irrigation. I'm just gonna, play around with what I find in seeds. This whole area is a massive seed bank right now because of how many seeds diversity I have just chucked in here. There's invasive like Tragopogon dubious seeds. The aster that has a flower bud that big, all like that, and when it opens, it has these filaries, the green filaries that splay out like that, and then within that are the ray florets that kind of are smaller. Black stamens, black little disc florets, the little miniature flowers that make up the composite structure. And then when that matures into a, when that get pollinated in seeds, the dandelion, I think it closes. I don't know. Yeah, it closes so that the seeds develop, I guess. And then it reopens, and it's just, it's a softball-sized pom-pom of achenes and massive dandelion, like that big. There's a big, long, slender seed, and then these big tuft of hairs that's like that big around. It's just a ball of it, and they get that big. So that's why I like it. They have grass-like leaves. It piqued my curiosity when I was in Colorado. I saw a lot of them, and I was thankfully, there was only one time I was able to get seeds of it, and I figured it was a non-native because it looked loosely like, the prickly lettuce. If I get enough Tragopogon, I'm gonna rip out all of the prickly lettuce. Prickly lettuce is not used for one species. It is used probably for also this. I call it prickly lettuce. Maybe this is called a thistle of some kind, but it's not in the cardoon genus Carduus. It doesn't have the structure of a thistle flower. It's in the same family. But on the pretty stuff, I want to talk about the pretty stuff. This. This is zinnia eaten by snails. There's lactusa seedlings. There's an aster of some kind. My nose is still running. I can't smell. But there's one in here. I don't know what they are. They have some texture to them. Is that a flower bud? Hold on a second. It's a flower bud. Yes. I'll be able to distinguish what kind of, hopefully, what kind of part in the Asteraceae family. It is. I know it's Asteraceae. It just looks like an aster. It's not a very informative thing of me to say. That's all I know. I did plant some... Oh god, I don't want to say the common name. What is this? No. Something with a P. I'm blanking right now. I don't want to say the shitty common name this has. I'm trying. I think it will. The genus name starts with a P. I think the species name has a V or an A in it. I think an S. But it's not. The species name is not arvensis. That's what I know. It's the genus name. I'm gonna guess it does not. Contrary to what I'm probably mistakenly thinking, it does not sound like Pilularis, which is the species name of coyote bush. What is this? Oh my god, how am I blanking on this? I've been looking at the... it has been 5 times I've seen the whole scientific name of this plant, and I keep forgetting. I even have a captioned photo in my camera roll with this completely captioned in its scientific name and even what family it's in. It's in Lysmachia. Fine. I've talked enough shit about the common name. It's heal all. And I still don't know. It's not even heal all. Don't use that. The common name. And then there is a different kind of leucanthemum or something near leucanthemum. Might be a genus that's right next to leucanthemum. But this is not Leucanthemum vulgare, because the basal rosette leaves are different from Leucanthemum vulgare. I don't know what I don't know how it came to be that species name. It definitely means something else. It's not vulgar. But I don't know. Maybe I can take a picture and I'll tell you what this... I'll tell you what kind of aster this basal rosette belongs to. Agave americana, I think. Asparagaceae. Now, what the fuck makes the agave and aloes in the asparagus family? Because the spikes they shoot up look like asparagus. You know, I need to plant more mint in here. Plants in the mint family. This does not have any aroma. This, I do know they make tea out of this, of course, because it's obviously the name is very, very woo-woo. Either it's just my nose that I cannot smell, I don't have COVID, or it just doesn't have a very, very strong smell, like most members of Lysmachia. This video is long, and I said it was short, but I'll talk about how plants are related to each other in a different video. It's late in the day, I'm all over the place. Now here, there's another genus that I forgot the name of. I think the letter it starts with is... it's a columbine. I don't know. This is a rumex. A non-native and invasive rumex. But, I don't know how the seed got here. Maybe a seed escaped my hand when I came back from Yosemite. Oh my god, look. Oh. So there's the Lysmachia arvensis flower that I wanted to show you. And because it fell off. It didn't get the close-up shot, but it is still perfectly preserved. That is cool. Yeah, so salmon colored, how many petals? 5. Yellow stamens. Stigma. I cannot see the stigma. It's somewhere in there. And then there's like reddish purple in the middle. Yeah. Oh, it landed perfect. There's a geranium mole, or mole, I don't know. But there's a tiny inconspicuous geranium flowers there. 5 petals, a 3-part stigma in style, and the female parts, and half moon leaves, or loosely, they range from looking like maple leaves, like miniature big leaf maple leaves, which this one actually literally looks like a big leaf maple leaf, and then the others look almost just like a half moon or like what gibbous. But also, there are some pincushion flowers in the honeysuckle family seedlings sprouting everywhere. Here. Here. There. There are a whole lot right here. So yeah, there's a whole bunch sprouting. More rumex. I'm excited for this to get fall colors. It turns like anthocyan and red. And then there's some Epipactis hellebore, Orchidaceae, some grass. And that is very, very small grass. There's a Epilobium brachycarpum. It's a native willow herb. And then this is either Antonaria, Helichrysum, luteolalbum, or something else in the Artemisoid tribe of Asteraceae, I think. It just doesn't have the dissected leaves. It's so soft. It's so soft and fuzzy. An adaptation to the hot and dry. Or maybe this came from a high altitude area. So it likes moisture, it's just battered with high sun exposure. Like at thousands and thousands of feet above sea level. But I don't know why it's going down here. Maybe because it has the same kind of climate as it would growing where it will grow elsewhere. I don't know, probably from the Middle East. I think this is from the Middle East. I don't know. That's a very uneducated guess of mine. Why are there hazelnut shells? What? There's multiple of them here. I don't know. That's definitely hazelnut shells. Oh, no. No. Those are plum pits, I think. Yes. From the cherry plums we have here. What else? Yeah, I don't need any excessive weeds here in the areas where the only sunlight they get that's direct is May, June, and July. Invasive legumes. This is Vicia villosa. I've mentioned this on some of my videos, especially in the creek. It's really nice. I have a guilty pleasure for it. And, before, I don't know, but it has purple flowers in spring. And you can keep them blooming, at a lesser rate, but, still blooming throughout the summer. I don't recommend, cultivating this under intensive supervision, because it is invasive. Such as this Acacia melanoxylon. Now, when you search that up, melanoxylon, Well, there's an acacia, Melaloxylon, that dark tree right there. And the leaves, do you think they're just parallel veined, slender leaves? But that's actually the leaf stem. I don't know why, but it evolved into, like evolution. It evolved into a flattened leaf petiole, where the bipinnate structure of the leaf has over generations disappeared, but at juvenile stage, it definitely has that. There's a lot of it growing here. I have not removed it. I just will cut it back every winter. I won't let it take off until I will remove all of the weeds when we're actually trying to turn this place into a functional garden with like that. Right now, this is not a functional garden. I am its own inundation, indirectly. But yeah, these, the oxalis and the burr peas, they look similar, but they're different. This is oxalis and oxalidaceae. And these are, they're a lot more pleasant to look at. I would much rather have these all over the place. But, they're weeds. They're from South Africa. And, when these are ripe, these just explode seeds everywhere. My mind portrays. It fools around with the sight of seeing the seeds explode like that, and it makes me think of all sorts of crazy stuff, I'll leave it at that. But it's nice. Yeah. And then there's this, oh gosh, it was at the tip of my tongue and it disappeared. Heal all. There was some sedge growing here, I swear. Whoa. This is the one only sedge here growing. Well, there's probably there's one more in this area here, but the sedge where everything comes out in 3 directions, including the inflorescences. There's grasses that I probably planted, so that would be fine. If they are the brome, I'll pull them out. If they're Elymus, I'll keep him. Because brome is annual and Elymus is perennial. And perennials stay greener longer and need less water. There's also a lot of invasive Euphorbia prostrata. Prostrata means prostrate or ground hugging. There's another erodium here in Latin, and you can see there's the center of the plant. And this is one of the crazy diverse forms that Euphorbiaceae can come in, and there is the swollen ovaries that are alternative seeds that explode. Exploding ovaries. Oh, that does not look like. These oregano seedlings. Those look like oregano. This looks like an oregano seedling. That definitely looks like an oregano seedling. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. These probably are oregano seedlings. Something in the mint family. They definitely have an opposite leaf arrangement because those yellow leaves, those 2 yellow leaves are the cotyledons, the 2 parts of the seed. Maybe. Yes. And you can still see that the leaves are coming out oppositely. So it doesn't. Yeah, it's probably in the mint family. Has it developed the terpenes that? Nope, not yet. It's not mature enough. I planted some allium or chives. Chives is a kind of allium. If it not, it's a genus very close. Look at it. It's so nice to run your fingers through it. But this is a perennial form of big. Because the soil is so compact, it's probably not going to do what it's doing in our garden beds, where it's taking up like 2 square feet, a massive like hollow circular stalks of leaf things and purple umbels of flowers. But it will do a miniature more than that. And what is this? Is this Petalea? And Petalea in the citrus family Rubiaceae? Let's see. Yes, it is. I think I can smell. And there. Oh. My number one fear. More than death, because, death is highly less unlikely. It's a skunk. There's something moving in there. Can you see? Yeah, my worst fear is skunks. Because, a few years ago, it used to be death, obviously, because that's what everyone under the age of 18 fears, is dying. But then you start to learn, it's highly... Oh. Yeah, but anyway, aside from death, why would I... Okay, this is probably brome. The leaves are kind of fuzzy, but I honestly cannot tell just by looking at the leaves. I have to let it flower first. But that... Look, no, that's like a limus. I don't know why. It's just like, look. It doesn't quite look... It's kind of purple. It's nice. Here's another daisy I planted. The one, no, this one flowers later, more in July, but it's still recovering from planting. It's dried out a few times right after I planted it, but it's recovered. Is that a cranesbill? That looks like the geranium that's evergreen. I have that in my yard. So this is the first flowering Senecchio. This is as much as they open. Now, a Senecchio can also come in the form of the South African chalksticks, like Senecchio majolica and other related species in the genus Senecchio. But I don't know if they're subgenuses of Senecchio. Probably are not. And I'm not in... oh no, there is a French broom seedling. That's bad. There's some morning glory flowers here. I'm excited for those. They'll bloom later this month, probably. I need to go. I need to stop. I could just show you the progression overall, gradually, as we enter autumn. Because I pretty much showed you everything that's growing here, almost. What is he doing? What are you doing? What are you? What pronouns do you go by? I want to know. If you want to strike up some conversations, I want to know how to address you, so that we can use pronouns. Sorry. So that we can. So I go by he/him pronouns. What I don't know. Because everyone starts with like that, or else, if not by their names. I'll just call you Sparks. I'll call you Sparks, and I'm Nova, and I don't know if you're interested. You're probably not. Garage, basement life, garage. I know how to be friends with you, but I probably can, although I am very scared of you. No offense.